beautiful. So exciting. Yeah, so you're telling me about the last quarter. Was it a good one for you guys?
Yeah, overall, yeah. But I wanted to ask you. I think the first time I met your brand is when you sponsor STM Island.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
You were there.
Yeah, yeah, it was such a fun. We didn't know what to expect, right? So we had, some of the people reach out to us before the event, and it ended up being a lot of fun. And actually, I met a lot of the affiliates that we work with now at SDM Island, and
Nice.
it was really fun. What I loved about that event, and usually overall, what's something super cool about our industry, you hear the stories and the background of a lot of the people that we encounter, and that's just genius, right? Like you have people that were brilliant doctors or carpenters, and they decided, I'm going to give digital marketing a try, and they became incredibly successful. So that was one of my favorite things about that event. I know
Yeah.
you have been doing this for a really long time also, but I'm also so surprised. We all have like really different backgrounds, which is beautiful.
Yeah, it's led us to here, and I think most of the people are happy they're doing it. But definitely, I think those events, the kind of the offline, it's like parties, but in the end of the day, you get so much like good networking and good vibes, and then eventually, sometimes during the next like the near future, can find a way to work together. That's really fun.
Awesome, perfect. So we can get started. I will stop you and ask you any questions as we go. And as we get questions on YouTube or Facebook, I'll address them. But I just want to say thank you so much. I know how busy you are. So this is so exciting to have you with us. And let's pretend people don't know a lot about you and your company. So I would love if you give them a little bit of a background. I'm sure a lot of, most of people know how brilliant you are, but I think it's going to be beautiful if it comes from you as to who you are and what you do.
First, thank you for having me. It's always fun. We usually meet each other at different conferences, and there is a big gap this year, I guess, for everyone. So always happy to jump and talk and share some ideas. So yeah, my name is Kinan. It's a bit harsh to pronounce Chen, but it is what it is. I'm based in Tel Aviv. I've been doing an affiliate marketing, I think, around 8 years now. Like you talked yesterday, just before, my way started a bit like difference. I finished school, uni. I'm not gonna go too much background, but after uni, I went and worked as a QA engineer in one of the tech company here in Israel called Babylon. They used to do different stuff, and just in the room next door, there was like the affiliate department. And there was all the time, there was like something happening in the affiliate department. Everyone was, shouting and good energies. And I was working a QA compliance kind of, very boring part. So I started to ask around what's going on there. And that kind of, took me in, started to move, started to learn media buying, and eventually started our own company. My first step was around mobile content and lead gen kind of area. And to be honest, we were doing like pretty good, but at some point, things became a bit more aggressive than usually. You needed to do a bit more kind of gray stuff in order to make things work, and a lot of issue with chargebacking, with quality, with KPIs that we weren't so happy about. And then at some point we started to look around, and one thing we noticed when we like everyone, we use spy tools to see what the hell is going on, what other people are doing. And we noticed that on every kind of traffic source, there are people that run viral content. So whenever we look, there is, tons of offers and also someone who's making viral content. We started to look deeper and understand how things work. From here to there, we started to experience with that, and then we built Shines. Shines is a kind of, we call what we do a content distribution platform. So we do different stuff. To make it easy, we have a lot of like around 30 domains of our own, general domains. It can be anything from DIY to cooking to celebs to whatever that is pretty wide and can go viral. We generate a lot of content and then we take care of the monetization of this content. Monetization is being done with the header bidding, which I know RTB, header bidding, maybe people know it or not, but in the end of the day, in the kind of advanced online world that we have, every ad is being sold separately by impression in real time based on the user profile. So when you come into a new site and you being served with an ad, basically someone is, bidding on your kind of data points that they have on your profile, and you will see different ads. So you can get one ad, I will get another ad. We bid, higher CPM on you than on me from different reasons. So we monetize it with this technology. So it's called header bidding. We have a lot of demand partner on the other side. Everything is automatically pretty much. And then we needed to build our own tracking for it. So different from regular tracking system, we follow how many pages a user read, how many ads we show them, what's the time they spend, rate, etc., etc. And then the last part will be distribute this content. So we have our own media buying team, and we use also influencers and affiliates to drive traffic to our content. Buying traffic on all the social platforms, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, native platform, of course, and different organic ways to drive traffic. So that's kind of overall different, because on the other end, we don't have an offer we are selling to the end user. So someone come to our site, he's reading the content while he spend time on our site. We kind of, displaying ads. We try not to make it too aggressive so people won't bounce. And in the end of the day, we need to kind of, calculate it and track it really well in order to make the margin between how much it costs us to drive the traffic to how much we made from this user in each session. And that's kind of very, very harsh and hard way to do it, especially on scale, but thanks God we're successful.
That's awesome. Well, one of the things that I jotted down here as you were telling us about what you do, you mentioned using spy tools. So I gotta ask, right? What is your favorite one? What do you use? Or give us like at least the scoop, 1 or 2, 3 spy tools.
Okay, first, my favorite one, if I go to my origin, will be putting a VPN and go to all the big sites and all the places they want to do. So if I want to advertise in Germany, I'm going to put a VPN. I'm going to invest in a good VPN. So hopefully they won't recognize it, and then we'll just browse and try to see what I'm getting. But on the day-to-day, we are using Adbit for native, which is great. It's kind of, I think it have everything, is a bit kind of old kind of looking, but it's really, really good, and we use it for a long time. And for social, and it's mostly for Facebook, we'll be using AdSpy.
That's awesome. Well, this is really like specific things that we love to know, because the brilliant part about our industry, you always learn something from someone else. That's probably going to be, sounds like a small thing, but if you start using this tool tomorrow, it could really, really change the entire way how you do your campaign. So that's great. How long have you been doing this? I mean, how long has it been since the moment when you heard the affiliate department doing a lot of cool things and you were just in QC doing boring stuff? How long has it been since then?
It's been around 8 years, but again, I will divide it to two. So it's been three. After that, it's been 3 years of hardcore media buying, affiliate, proper, all the types from affiliate offer to lead gen to again mobile content apps, whatever came across. And then after a while, and after we kind of based our capital a bit, we started to think about long-term investment, and then Shines came to the table, and again it's really developed, I guess, more than everyone expectation in the past like 3 years. So I'm pretty happy where we are. Of course, I'm still all the time interested on what the hell is going on in the affiliate marketing industry, and I'm trying to keep myself hands-on and keep running offer that looks interesting across the board.
Yeah, that's I'm so glad that you said that. And what I wanted to pick your brains on, before you go into like specifics of viral content, we had a really fun conference yesterday, and myself and one of the other speakers had different point of views on how things are going for the customers, the customer behavior. And I can see from what I'm seeing, and I'm seeing that the customers are actually buying more. We are seeing an increase in sales. We are seeing an increase in traffic since March, right? Probably the second wave was when people were getting more comfortable shopping online. So I'm really curious as to what you see. Do you really see an increase? Because, the other speaker was saying how Christmas shopping is not going to be as strong. Well, I disagree, right? So just let me know your honest opinion on this.
Well, the honest opinion is we did see a decrease on March, April, May. I think that again we have kind of an overview on the online advertising industry. So we have a lot of demand partner that those are brands budget and things like that. So in the first kind of wave, the world had it's enough that that companies like Booking.com, Expedia, or whatever stop advertising, and we saw a drop in the CPM that we're getting. But in the end of the day, the volume of the traffic is higher, the competition is higher, other brands increased. So I can honestly say we see a huge increase in traffic and in the rates that we're getting since around May and June. I think I published this article in few places. Maybe you've seen it, but it's not only you and me saying. There's like different resources that show a huge increase in the traffic and the CPM that's going on around, and it was peaking in the end of August. To the same rates that Black Friday and Cyber Monday in the previous years reached. So wow. I think we're in a specific peak at the moment. It will be really, really interesting to see if Q4 will go even higher. And to be honest, from the first day of October, I think we're just gonna keep increase. We're just gonna keep seeing this increase towards Q4.
That's awesome.
Especially from our side, the election is something good for us, because obviously if we're gonna drive users that Trump or Biden wanna advertise or do, they will bid on our sites as well. So that works really good for both way. And yeah, I'm seeing similar stuff to you. Definitely, things look good.
That's awesome. And I think it's brilliant that in August you're seeing similar numbers to what you usually see for Christmas. I mean, that's fantastic. I keep seeing that this year is such a good year for us as digital marketers and people that are in the performance marketing industry. It's really our time to shine, and it's really, you can see it as an opportunity to help other people, other industries, small businesses that maybe did not have a lot of relevance, to what we're doing, but now they realized no matter what business you have, if you use the expertise that we have been building on for so many years, it's going to be super helpful to you. So honestly, I'm ecstatic to see that we, every time I talk to a friend like yourself and we, I hear you guys are doing well, you see the same increase. It's great. And one thing, and one of the big reasons we do the podcast and we try to offer information to a lot of our affiliates is because I have a strong belief that there is so much room in our industry for other people to join. You can pick so many different areas of what we do online, and quitting your 9 to 5 doesn't have to be something out of a movie or something that just sounds cool. I mean, it's so palpable and realistic. And with us, every time I hear a story from one of our affiliates that he was able to quit his job and he went from making $100 a day to making 10K a day, right? Those are real stories. We hear them all the time, and now more than ever, it's super cool for us to offer any information we have that relates to it.
Yeah, definitely. Like, first, I do feel like lucky for being in this industry. The lockdowns and stuff like that, it's not a huge change for us as we work from our laptops. So yeah, I do feel lucky. And again, I talked with a lot of friends in the industry. Everyone, some of them kept traveling and stay in Thailand for the lockdown. They didn't feel anything. So yeah, that the thing is there. And I think it's just accelerated the way that the offline is moving towards the online. So there is like endless opportunity here, and people spend much more time online. It doesn't look like it's gonna end soon. So yeah, the opportunity, as you say, is definitely here. You just need to be, just move.
That's awesome. I don't know if you can see the comments, but I just love it when so many people join us live and just say hi, and everyone is loving it so far. So, I'll let you give us some really cool specifics on viral content, because I'm personally super interested to learn more about it. So you have the floor.
Yeah, so I will tell you what I'm mostly proud on is and that's kind of something that I would like maybe to inspire other people to think about. So think that what we did, like moving to viral content, is like it's a vertical that it wasn't open for any affiliates, right? So it's not easy to do it as an affiliate, especially as a solo affiliate. So there wasn't a vertical. Some big companies was running like those big sites, and everyone saw it. I'm sure you pressed sometimes in your life on the perfectly timed photos, the best picture, the best houses, the best places to travel or whatever. Everyone clicked on it once in their lifetime. So there was like companies who do it, and we just took it. We took all the knowledge that we got from affiliates, from our affiliate experience, the way we look on stuff, the way we scale, the way we track stuff, and we just took something that weren't there and hand it out to us and to other affiliate to do. So think that instead of an offer or instead of running e-commerce, you can just run an article, a piece of content. You don't deal with any kind of shipment or any stock or any refunds or anything like that. I'm not saying it's easy, but that's pretty much what we do. So the game is to generate a lot of content and every day, and it's kind of a numbers game. You don't really know what's gonna catch fire and will be viral, so you just need to test it all the time. And And a big part of it will be creative. A big part of it will be, again, it's exactly the same like we do and exactly how we learn as affiliate. We'll be testing a lot of combination of creative, and one of them will work better than the other. Why? No one knows, but it is what it is. Another thing that is interesting is that viral content is kind of, can be run worldwide, and it's kind of blue ocean. So we try to write on stuff that are relevant to everyone. Let's say I'm gonna go a few years back. One of our best articles, it was, how the Game of Thrones character looks in real life. So that was like huge, and then we translated to pretty much every language, and everyone saw Game of Thrones, and everyone want to know how the Game of Thrones, characters look in real life, and it was a huge success from our end. So there is so much to do all the time, and so much potential that, again, it's connect to what you say. There is so much room for a lot more people to join and do it, and yeah, I'm sure there are a lot more opportunities like that, a lot more kind of vertical that are not at the moment count as an affiliate vertical, that with a bit of adjustment we can make it suitable for us, for affiliates to do it as well.
That's awesome. So let me get this. I mean, I know exactly the article that you're referring to, from Game of Thrones, and it's brilliant that was you guys. And tell me about the thought process. I mean, were you guys just hanging out in a room and someone just came out with the idea? Is that easy to create such great viral content, just having like really good brainstorming sessions?
So it can be like it come from different. So I would say you can see things that are going trending online at the moment, and try to give your way to do it. I don't know, if there is Kanye West is saying he's about to run for president, obviously you can take that, use that as an angle, and then write an article about Kanye West or the Kardashian family or about whatever, and that can catch fire because it's very relevant and trendy at the moment. And so that's one. There will be different ones, like the best houses, or best couples, or whatever that is. It's kind of general, but again, it's about how you kind of how do you manage to drive people in a good way that will do. So that the Game of Thrones article came back time after time whenever the series had a new kind of episode or a new season, obviously. So that's one. Another, for example, did you see The Last Dance with Michael Jordan and the Bulls in Netflix?
Yeah, absolutely. Generally, my husband was watching that this morning, so it's
okay. Fantastic. So for example, that's a funny story. Everyone watched it. There was like a big trend. It was in the first lockdown around the world. Everyone watched it, and we were sitting eating lunch, and then one guy say, "Everyone noticed that Michael Jordan had like I don't know, red eyes." And they're like, yeah, why he has red eyes? What the hell is going on? Ta, 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 ta. And then you say, okay, there is something. It's not super important, but everyone noticed it. And everyone had like their thought, in their head, but it's not interesting enough to talk about, right?
Right.
So we took that, and it will be interesting for you to ask your husband if he noticed that he have like really, instead of white, he have like red eyes. And then we used that, we read about it, and we wrote this as something around it, and combine it with all the information about The Last Dance, and use that as an angle to drive traffic. And it literally explode because everyone thought about it, but
that's everyone. It's, I mean, obviously it's not easy because you have to be super present to what's going on in the world, right? And, you know, and don't forget, you guys, whoever is watching this, you heard it here first. Kanye West is running for president. Hen confirmed it, so it's real news. But no, I mean, all joke aside, you know, you do have to know what's going on. I mean, you need to know who the Kardashians are. You need to know who's running for presidency in the US. So you really need to stay really in sync, even with the stuff you don't like, because as affiliate marketers, maybe you tend to be, I know I personally don't like to hear a lot about the social stuff that's going on, but I have no choice. I need to know what's relevant because for us, we need to know this stuff, because in order to capitalize on viral content, you need to know what, you know, what everyone is watching.
Yeah, it's I guess it's funny for us in affiliate marketing. A lot of the time we promote things we don't consume, like, but we still need to understand the behavior and the psychology of the users, even that we are not the target users. And yeah, you just need to do it. You just need to be updated. And of course, we have also a team, and again, we try to be updated from everywhere. Some stories can come from, you know, something that were on the news, and an emotional story of someone who found his daughter, or found his whatever, that can be viral if it's good enough.
That's awesome. I mean, I know we had a lot of affiliates ask us the last few months, and I mean, we do our best to tell them what we see. So, you know, my question is for you, your, you know, honest opinion when it comes to content. Personally, I noticed that when you have a good headline, it's a big game changer, right? So that's something easy. I can always tell the affiliates to go and change, or even if they advertise an article, how you said, or a pre-lender, or even an email swipe, a small picture on Facebook, I always encourage them to have like a really good headline. Do you have anything like that, that, you know, if you have an affiliate friend that comes to you, you have that one easy piece of information you can give him to use?
Yeah, like I guess so, but again, it can be really changed on daily basis, depend on what's going on around the world, because, you know, a Kardashian article can't, like, it won't work, but suddenly if you find the right combination of headline and Kanye West, it suddenly can explode. So I'm really into as much A/B testing as you can get, because especially because of the last point that I mentioned, sometimes we are not the customer that we are target, and testing a lot of stuff that even that you think that are not going to work completely, it's time after time, it's surprising me. And I will even go to my very first beginning. I remember while I was promoting like different apps, and, you know, it was new, putting a video on a banner, and everything is colored, and you know, animation, and you say, yeah, the CTR will be amazing, and that's probably gonna work. And then, you know, you're just putting and like download now with an error, and it's working much better, right? So you have to test. I think testing is the game, and it's like need to be constantly. And I'm also hearing it from the big brands guys. You know, when they launch a product, they want to do as many variation for the creative, and that's the biggest tip. If like it's creative is the game, and if you're gonna keep testing, you're gonna find the winner one.
That's beautiful. I do agree with testing, right? Because it's really hard to beat data, and, you know, for us, it's super important to see what works. And a big good advice that, you know, we always encourage our affiliates to do, it's really have that thick skin of trying and trying to see what's going to work, because it's impossible to be super successful from, you know, running just a week or two of ads. You know, some of us have been doing this for years and years, and we still might get wrong many times. You know, an offer or an ad, we are gonna, how many times do you think something is gonna convert beautifully and it just doesn't?
So I want to add here that, you know, things you need to test a lot, but you need to understand the metrics fast. So you need to know the metrics, and you need to understand, like, you can catch things that, it's really depend on the product, but sometimes just on the first day or two, without spending a huge amount of, budget, you should know if it's on the right direction or not. You should understand your funnel. You should know the numbers. And there's so many, groups and forums that you're just gonna ask what the conversion rate you're seeing on your shop, what is the conversion rate you're seeing on what the CTR, whatever. So you have some benchmark, and yeah, and the last kind of added to that, don't be too emotional on the creative you worked hard on, right? If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Don't insist too much. Again, find the right balance between the two.
That's really good advice. So guys, don't be emotional. Even if you love your creative, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work, right?
Yeah.
And it's just how it is. I mean, how many times you see we call it a pretty page and an ugly page of the same URL or VSL, because we run a lot of VSL offers, and the ugly one beats the control so many times. So at the end of the day, we really should be focusing on the user and what they like.
Yeah, I think we all kind of seen on insisting on something that we worked hard, or we believe it. This is gonna explode, but the numbers saying a different kind of story. It's always good to sometimes that. I'm coming to my colleague and look at the numbers and guys, kill it now. And then no, let's give it another day. No, kill it now, right? And vice versa.
It's gonna work.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that's that. Ask the people around you. Try to be objective on the numbers, and if things are good, they are good. If they're so.
What are some good, you mentioned earlier, and this is actually something super good that we should tell people that are watching, because we do have, we have a bunch of, big, small affiliates, but we have a lot of beginners also, right? So you mentioned forums earlier. Are there specific places where, and don't be worried about making an ad for another brand here. I encourage you to, are there specific forums or Facebook groups or people where affiliates, or beginner affiliates can really go in and feel like they're getting something back, where they can ask other super affiliate questions and so forth?
Yeah, I think back in the days, and I'm still there on STM. I'm there for a few years now. I think since 2014. I'm keep being there. I'm not always get things from there, because I have more experience than beginners, but still it's interesting. And sometimes I'm asking questions, and sometimes I'm showing case studies, and sometimes I'm giving them link and ask for their opinion, and everyone is super nice. With that said, that's unpaid. So for new affiliates, the world has changed, and there are so many Facebook groups.
Right.
For e-commerce, for lead gen, for Facebook ad buyers, for whatever. So there's so many out there, and for everyone, for each one there is a moderator, and you can ask questions. And I swear there are so many people that want to help. We just goodwill.
That's key, wanting to help. I recently have been using more the Avengers one that I believe Ian created it. Ian, sorry if it wasn't you, but I believe it's yours. So the Avengers one is on Slack, right? And I love it. I see it so many times where an affiliate that does Outbrain or MGID will ask a question, and he'll get right away really good advice. So if you guys can take one thing from us today, besides our beautiful looks and curly hair, please believe it that at one point we were the ones asking all the questions, and I remember asking dozens of questions in Facebook groups, forums, on Skype. There are a bunch of, even on Skype, there are like groups of people that attended conferences, right? And it's cool to ask questions. I mean, if you're just getting started, that's probably a really good way for you to get your foot in the door and see what other people are doing. But you might.
I just want to add to that. Like that's definitely like one of my biggest advice. And when there are conferences, I always encourage people to kind of go out from the comfort zone and reach out personally. And of course, it's even easier when you do it online. With that said, you have to know how to Google stuff on your own. Like the information is there. Before you're like, if you feel like it's a basic question, the information is there. You can Google, you can invest a few minutes of your time, and a lot of time the information is just laying there. You're not the first one who's done something, and you're not the last one. When things are a bit more complicated, so definitely give your, like, even not too long ago we had our own Shopify store and things weren't going that well, and I posted in one of the groups, hey guys, give me feedback, what do you think? And so many people helped, and I see other OG affiliate that do it, like they have a shop, guys, hit me up, everything that you think is not good, whatever you think is good, how can I improve it? And people help because it's easy for us, the more experienced people, it's easy for us to look at something and give you the feedback. It's not too complicated and not too time consuming. And I think there's a lot of good people in the industry in the end of the day.
That's awesome. One of the things, that you guys do really well is promoting content. And, instead of picking an offer, how you said it earlier, picking an article that you can promote. So, if someone wants to do this specifically, how would they go about it? Would they, go to you guys, start working with someone like Kinan, or are they specific steps if someone wants to specifically go and market an article?
Yeah, so we just make it much more simpler. Yes, for affiliate, and it's definitely a good place to experience what's going on. So similar to you, we have an offer wall, but the offer wall contains different articles, and then you choose whatever article you kind of. I guess it's easier when you relate to an article or relate to an offer that you really think it's a good product or a good article, and then you have the ambition to do better and better creative and more testing because you feel more connected. So yeah, definitely you can come to our offer wall, which is, we call it partner portal, and choose from a variety of different articles, in different niches. We have like 1,000 articles just in English. It can be from funny to pictures to life story to whatever. And yeah, you just choose it, and you can grab a link and start driving traffic to our site. We don't use the tracker or anything like that, so you drive it directly to our site, so there is no issue with Facebook or any other different platform for redirect. So it's pretty straightforward, to be honest.
That's brilliant. So what if, let's say, let's pretend I know nothing about this, and I'm a product owner, right? And I create a product, and then I write an article about that product. Could we use someone like you guys to promote that article?
In theory, we can. It's a bit different because, for our goal is to make people stay as long as we can on our site, because then we show them more ads and then we generate more revenue. So anytime someone jumping from our site, we actually cut the session and we generate, in the end of the day, less revenue. But it's really depend. You've seen those articles of the kind of listicle of top gadget and stuff like that. So that can be something that we do. But I'm more into kind of backdoor kind of method. So if you do an article about something and then you implement different links over there, external links to lead the user to different stuff, and yeah, it can definitely be work.
That's awesome. So what type of tools do you guys use to collect the data from users that are visiting your website, like opt-ins? We personally use Opt-in Monster a lot, right? But I'm curious if you guys use something else or it's something in-house built for users to opt in to get more emails from you or just more information.
You mean how we work with our affiliates, or?
Well, let's say you have, people on the website, you mentioned you love people being on the website to be able to target them with ads. Do you keep that information, like the user information that was on the website at a given point, or not really? You're not interested in that information?
Yeah, like first we have all the pixels from all the traffic sources, so we do getting this data. We don't kind of keep email list or something like that. That it might be, something that we're missing. We are definitely, we do have push notification that we are collecting organically a high quality user for a long time. We have like few million users over there, and we try to keep it. Again, we saw what other affiliate do with push notification. We try to keep it very clean and just retarget those with other similar stories. But yeah, since the GDPR and all the privacy, we try to stay safe from everyone.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's why we usually just prefer everyone to opt in if they want more information, which is obviously, safer. But I wanted to ask you, what niches and categories are you seeing as doing well? For example, I noticed that diet or health actually is doing really well this year. I don't know if the customer mindset is that they want to, get in shape or feel better, but I personally see that as a good niche. What about you?
Interesting. So from our side, there is no like a big difference from day to day, from like previous to Corona, on the type of articles or things that people read. But if you like my overview on the industry, obviously lead generation and insurance and food delivery, all those kind of stuff, really we saw an increase across our partners, affiliate that work. So that's on that side, and hopefully, I guess, health and stuff like that, and like gym, products. People stay at home much more. They want to have it at home, so that definitely makes sense.
We're seeing it too. Well, this is a question I like to ask a lot of the brilliant, successful people that we get either on our conferences or podcasts. Are there specific tricks or mindset things or anything that you started doing differently from when you were just getting started and you were a kid with a goal as is to now where you're, a successful entrepreneur? Are they things that you do differently? For example, I'm a sponge. I love to read all the time, right? But other people do things differently. So, to everyone listening, I think that's a huge interest for other people to get a glimpse as to how other successful people live, and if there are certain things in your daily life that you do that increase the quality of you being a better business person.
First, something that I started to do, I guess in the past year or so, I'm trying to, sometimes you're browsing online and you see interesting stuff. If it's on Facebook, if it's on forum, I'm trying to save it for later, and I'm giving myself a schedule, like time in the schedule that I know that, every few days I have 1 hour, even the time in the office, that I'm gonna watch this lecture or read this article when I have the full attention for it. So that's definitely something that I recommend. I think the biggest thing that I see my mindset change is that, and it's pretty harsh, especially to beginning, to do more than say, but try to not get excited from the good days and not get too down from the lower days, right? You want to stay somewhere in the balance over there. So if you're not going to get too excited about this amazing day, you're not going to get too down on this bad day, and you're going to stay there and you're going to stay focused. And it's just It's just a period. It's going to take a day or two, a week. On a lower scale, it's going to be a month. But things, if you're going to keep working on the right direction, things will improve, and it's in your hands. So just keep doing what you do. Try not to get distractors from the 2 good days and the less good days, and see how we can do it.
That's really good. I love it. And I think it's how you said, sometimes it's easier to say than, actually do it, but it works. And, I personally noticed that when you just let things go, and, a big one for me is to always encourage people not to take things personally. And it sounds so easy, but it's brilliant. If you can start doing this specifically in your work, environment, don't take things personally. Don't be easily offended. Don't be like, how you said, super stressed one day, too ecstatic the next. Just try to be, go with the flow. And I think that's something that applies, right? It sounds so cheesy, but if people can actually get the grasp of it, it's going to be, incredibly helpful.
Yeah. In 1 second. Yeah.
It's done.
It's also a type, like a tip for life, but again, harder to do than say. But yeah, work on that direction. It's really helpful and keep you focused.
That's beautiful. Well, we, normally we keep them at like 30 minutes. I noticed we were like chatting for 45. So I love that. That's brilliant. But if you want people to take away like specific things, or like 1, 2, 3 things from, from today's podcast, what would you want them to take home?
One, I mentioned before, but get out of your comfort zone. If it's when conferences coming back, or if it's now, feel free to talk with everyone, ask questions. People are nice, and a lot of people want to help. Do it. Second, improve your Google skills. A lot of information is online, especially for people that are moving from the offline to the online. Everything is there, is on the ground, is in YouTube. There's like everything is there. Just invest a bit of your time, and again, focus on that. And the last thing is that, I hope people will get a bit inspiration from, there's different verticals, different opportunities lying over there. Look around, find it. A lot of offline is coming to online, especially now. So open your eyes, open your ears, and try to use those expertise to as you mentioned, to do it in the online world.
Well, I think that the most brilliant thing, and actually I'm a big fan of writing things down, right? I still have a notepad like back in the day. So one of the things that I wrote down as I was listening to you today was, you can promote an article. You don't have to think about promoting an offer. And that's brilliant. I mean, that's exactly what you said on how we approach performance marketing. You can do things differently, and maybe you aren't as successful promoting specific offers. Try an article next time, right? It might be something that's specifically really good for you, or try both, right? It could be like something, vertical growth in your career that's really, really going to help.
Definitely. I agree.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you so much. You're wonderful. Thank you. I'm sure we're going to get questions later on today. A lot of people are just getting up in the US. We're trying to be respectful with the time zones, but as people are getting up, they're going to be watching. So if you don't mind, I'll ping you if there are any questions that I don't know how to address. But thank you.
For sure. I will follow up also on the Facebook post and try to reply on my own. Anyway, feel free to hit me up on social or whatever if anyone needs anything. And Anna, thank you so much for having me. It's always a pleasure.
You're the best. I appreciate you. And thank you, everyone.